Wait. Everyone remembers their first international trip. And para sa maraming Pilipino, ang first trip natin abroad ay usually sa Hong Kong. In fact, over 1.2 million Filipinos ang bumisita sa Hong Kong noong nakaraang taon lang ha. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. From the skyline views and street food to theme parks and quick island escapes, Hong Kong is one of the easiest, most exciting trips that you can take from the Philippines. Kaya naman in this video, I'll show you exactly how to experience Hong Kong the convenient way. Hey there, Tipiter! We are Vince and Josh. For the past 15 years, halos every year kaming bumibisita sa Hong Kong, pero ngayon lang namin napansin na, teka, parang wala pa tayong Hong Kong travel guide. Kaya, iko-correct na natin yan ngayon. Tipiters, welcome to our detailed, comprehensive Hong Kong travel guide. Pero syempre, bago kayo pumunta sa Hong Kong, here's a quick checklist ng mga bagay na dapat nyong i-prepare. Una, syempre, valid passport. Given na yan. Pero bukod dyan, tandaan na walang visa na kailangan sa Hong Kong para sa ating mga Pinoy na traveling for tourism or kahit for business, basta up to 14 days yung stay natin. Hindi na rin kailangan ng arrival card. Digital man or physical. Na-abolish na yan noong 2024. Pero it doesn't mean na wala nang kailangang i-prepare kasi alam mo naman, kailangan mo pa rin harapin ang immigration sa Hong Kong and dito sa Pilipinas. So, una sa listahan ay ang e-travel na required ng Philippine Immigration. You can fill it out sa official website, etravel.gov.ph, or pwede nyong i-download yung eGovPH app. Meron yung Android and iOS or iPhone version. Kailangan mo ring bayaran ang Philippine Travel Tax na 1,620 pesos. Pwedeng si airport na or in advance online. Pero yon, ito yung mga bubog natin yan kasi parang babayad pa tayo ng travel tax. We also recommend that you order an Octopus card in advance. Ito yung prepaid stored value card dito sa Hong Kong na pwede mong gamitin kapag sumasakay ng MTR. MTR yung tawag nila sa MRT nila, and buses. And pwede mo rin gamitin yung card kapag nagbabayad sa ibang stores. Kapag meron ka nito, hindi mo na kailangan bumili ng ticket each time na magte-tren ka. I-hover mo lang yung card above the reader sa may entrance gate and you're good to go. Although, may app version din ang Octopus and may mga stations, yung ibang mga gates doon and ibang mga buses na directly tumatanggap ng credit card transactions. Ako personally, I still prefer using an Octopus card. Mas panatag yung loob ko kapag Octopus card kasi minsan, di ba, nag-error and konti lang kasi yung gates na available for other cards. Meron din kasing discount sa pamasahe kapag Octopus card yung gamit. Although hindi naman yun kalakihan per ride, syempre kapag ilang beses mong ginagamit, they rack up din and ang laki na rin ng matitipid mo. Yung standard Octopus card costs 150 Hong Kong dollars para sa adult and 50 lang naman ito para sa bata. Pero either way, kailangan mong mag-deposit ng 50 Hong Kong dollars din. Yung deposit, refundable naman yan kapag isosoli mo na yung card bago ka umuwi. Pero kung feeling mo, ayaw mo, or hindi mo mare-return yung card, wala ka ng oras or whatever, so sayang yung deposit, di ba? Pwede kang bumili ng Octopus Tourist Card. Meron yan sa Klook, and sa Klook din meron silang mga discounted combo options. Ilalagay na lang natin yung link sa description ng video na to and sa pinned comment na rin. Pero ito yung itsura ng page. You also need to decide kung paano ka kukuha ng panggastos pag andun ka na. Ang Hong Kong, increasingly nagiging cashless na siya. Credit card and online wallet transactions are very common. Pero syempre, yung mga maliliit na establishments, mas preferred pa rin nila yung cash payment. And sa iba nga, gumagana rin yung GCash. Pero mas madali ang buhay kapag may baon kang cash. Pwede ka namang magpapalit na dito sa Pilipinas or pwede rin sa money changers doon. Marami sa Tsim Sha Tsui and sa Central. Pero kami, we usually just withdraw from ATM sa Hong Kong na. Usually, may transaction fee lang. Pero kung gagamitin mo yung GCash card mo pang withdraw, sa Hang Seng Bank kayo mag-withdraw para walang withdrawal fee. Dala ka rin ng travel adapter. Hong Kong uses Type G. Yun yung pinaka-common doon. Some hotels have universal sockets naman that can accommodate most plugs, pero best to bring pa rin a universal travel adapter like this one para magamit nyo sa iba-ibang bansa. You can find products na ganito, yung may outlet din. We got this from Digital Walker. This is Momax One World Universal Travel Charger with dual AC or yung may USB ports. This one has USB-A port and USB-C port. And fast charging din yan. Also by Momax. Ilalagay namin yung link sa baba if interested kayong kumuha rin nito. And mas mura pag dito sa YouTube Shopping. Malaking bagay din kung meron kang internet, mapa SIM card man yan, or eSIM. Sobrang useful niyan, lalo na when using the public transportation like MTR trains, buses, and even kahit directions lang kapag naglalakad. Mamaya mas i-explain ko kung paano mag-train and paano mag-bus. Pero kung gusto nyo ng eSIM, you can also book with Aeralo and use our promo code ThePoorTraveler for 15% off. Although madalas ay hindi naman chine-check kung first time mong mag-Hong Kong, advisable na may dala ka ring return ticket and accommodation booking, mapa hotel, hostel, or apartment man yan. Again, it's very rare na i-check yan, pero just to be safe, just in case. Hong Kong is one of the busiest and most developed metropolitan hubs in Asia in terms of trade, business, and tourism. And although officially part ito ng China, Hong Kong is worlds apart from the rest of the country culturally and politically dahil iba yung history nito. Nung natalo kasi ng mga Briton, yung Qing Empire na nagro-rule sa China at the time, dun sa Second Battle of Genpei, nagkaroon ng peace negotiations that resulted in the Treaty of Nanjing noong August 1842. And formally, sinid nila ang Hong Kong to Britain and ended the First Opium War. Simula noon, ang Hong Kong ay naging colony na ng British Empire, except noong World War II when it was occupied by Japan. Pero Britain maintained its rule of the territory hanggang 1997 kung kailan ibinalik ito sa China. Today, ang Hong Kong ay isang special administrative region of China, pero it has its own economy, own currency, and own immigration laws. Kaya naman, kahit yung mga mainland Chinese, kailangan pa rin nilang dumaan sa immigration check kapag papasok sila ng Hong Kong. Ang official language dito sa Hong Kong ay Cantonese and English, and almost 95% ng population speaks Cantonese. Pero almost everything na kailangan ng turista has an English translation naman, so hindi naman ganun kalala ang language barrier. Nagiging common na rin a little bit ang Mandarin dahil sa mga immigrants from the mainland. Ang official currency ay Hong Kong dollar, and as of today, ang 1 Hong Kong dollar ay equivalent to 7.64 pesos. So 100 Hong Kong dollars, 764 pesos. Pareho ang time zone ng Pilipinas and Hong Kong, GMT plus 8, and walang daylight saving time. So, pare-pareho tayo, Philippines, Hong Kong, Beijing, Singapore, ganun. Maliit lang naman ang Hong Kong, but it's divided into 3 main regions. Ang Hong Kong Island, Kowloon Peninsula, and the New Territories, which also covers 200 outlying islands. While yung mga areas na to are connected by sprawling train and bus networks, it is important na familiar ka with its geography para mas madali yung pag-explore mo. Unahin natin yung city center, and meron itong 2 sides, yung southern coast ng Kowloon and yung northern coast ng Hong Kong Island, separated by the Victoria Harbor. Parehong bustling ang dalawang areas na to, pero magkaiba yung character. Sa Kowloon side, dito mo makikita yung more traditional districts like Tsim Sha Tsui, Jordan, and Mongkok. And sa Hong Kong side naman, mas modern and mas British colonial yung atmosphere. Andito naman ang Central, Sheung Wan, Admiralty, Wan Chai, and Causeway Bay. If most of the attractions na gusto mong ma-visit ay nasa city center, then any of these districts, mapa sa Kowloon side man or sa Hong Kong side, ay great choice. Kasi tingnan natin ulit yung mapa ha, ito yung city center. Yung Peak Tram Station nandito, and it will take you to the Victoria Peak na nandito naman. Yung Avenue of Stars nandito, yung M Plus Museum dito, and yung Mongkok dito naman. So yes, kahit alin dito, ideal yan. Just make sure na you are within walking distance of an MTR station or even kahit bus stop, and you should be fine. You'll find a lot of affordable hotels, hostels, and guest houses sa mga areas din na to. And by affordable, I mean by Hong Kong standards ha. Siyempre by Pinoy standards, mahal yan. If you wish to stay close to Central, yung hotel na na-try namin ay itong iClub Xiongwan, which is located near MTR Xiongwan Station and malapit din sa maraming bus stops. And surrounded ito by attractions and mga masasarap na kainan. Although medyo maliit yung room, may working desk din naman. Sa Kowloon naman, yung last na napagstayan namin ay dito sa iClub Mongkok, which is very similar to its Xiongwan counterpart. Itong Mongkok kasi, magandang magstay dito kung gusto mo na malapit ka sa mga night markets and accessible din naman. But the majority of budget accommodations listed online ay nandito sa dalawang buildings na to sa Tsim Sha Tsui, Chongqing Mansion and Mirador Mansion. These are residential buildings na kinonvert into cramped guest houses. Very polarizing ito, lalo na kapag nagbabasa ka ng reviews online. Kasi totoo naman na yung ground floors niya can be overwhelming, medyo crowded kasi and frantic, but kapag nasa loob ka na naman ng mga units, pwedeng tahimik naman. Pero hit or miss. Maraming pangit, pero makakahanap din ka naman ng mga maayos. Hindi naman yun imposible. Meron talagang mga well-maintained options. Yung last time na nagstay kami dito, ang napili namin ay itong Victoria Inn and okay naman siya. Maliit pero well-maintained. Pero balikan natin yung mapa. So, yung airport kasi ay nandito, 'di ba? Tapos marami sa mga popular attractions sa Hong Kong, lalo na yung mga family-friendly, ay nandito sa Lantau Island, which although accessible naman, ay objectively far from the city center. You'll find the Hong Kong Airport here, tapos yung Disneyland nandito, 'di ba? Tapos yung Ngongping 360 Cable Car Station, andito 'yan, and it will take you to the Big Buddha right here. Tapos, if you also want to go on a day trip to Macau, the HZMB port is here. So, if yung itinerary mo ay dominated by these attractions, consider staying in Tung Chung, which is located here, and sa Hong Kong Sky City, na nandito naman, katabi lang ng airport. Sa Tung Chung, ang natry namin dito ay 4 Points by Sheraton. Actually, maraming hotels dito. And although mukha siyang detached, di ba? Meron kasing mga free shuttle din silang binibigay papunta sa airport and sa MRT Tung Chung Station. So, madali lang naman makapunta sa city center. Sa Sky City naman, dito kami nagstay sa Hong Kong Sky City Marriott Hotel. Okay ito for families kasi bawat room dito ay good for up to 4 guests. Itong dalawang hotels na to, very spacious and sobrang linis. Pero yung presyo niya, mura kumpara sa counterparts nila sa city center. And hindi rin sila nalalayo yung presyo sa mga mid-range hotels sa Central and Kowloon. And again, pareho tong may free shuttle service papuntang MRT Tung Chung Station and sa airport na rin. Again, lahat ng mga hotels na to ay nakakompile sa thepoortraveler.net/masterlist and nilagay na rin namin yung mga comments namin sa bawat isa dyan. If gusto nyong makamura, i-save or i-bookmark nyo lang tong page na to para mas madali nyong mabalikan. It's a work in progress ha, pero andyan na yung Hong Kong, Taipei, Osaka, and marami pang ibang destinations. We'll add more as we go along. When you book using the links na nandito sa master list na to, you also help us maintain this channel kasi we get credited for every booking na walang additional na gastos sa'yo. In fact, mas makakatipid ka pa nga kasi may mga discount codes din tayo dyan. So win-win ito for the both of us. Kung sa Agoda kayo magbo-book, para makamura kayo, visit thepoortraveler.net/Agoda. Or kung gusto niyo na sa app, yung mobile app ng Agoda kayo magbo-book, punta muna kayo sa deals page and enter our promo code AGODATPT for up to 5,900 pesos off. Actually, 10% discount yan, pero may cap na 100 USD. So, based on current conversion, nasa 5,900 na yan. Then, search and select a hotel as usual. Tapos, kapag checkout na, dun sa checkout page, i-enter nyo lang ulit yung code na AGODATPT. Yes, kailangan nyo siyang i-enter twice sa Deals tab at upon checkout. Nakapag-stay na nga rin pala kami sa Disney Explorers Lodge. Ito yung hotel na malapit sa Hong Kong Disneyland. So kung gusto nyong ma-experience na makapag-stay sa isang Disneyland hotel, consider nyo to. And okay din to kung halimbawa na multiple days kayo sa Disneyland. Very convenient kasi nandun ka na sa area. Yung mga rooms dito, malalaki. Tapos Disney theme talaga. Puro mukha ni Mickey, Minnie, ganyan. Panalong-panalo din yung buffet breakfast nila. pwede mo pang ma-meet yung mga Disney characters. Ito namang Disney Explorers Lodge, nabook naman namin to sa Klook. And kung sa Klook kayo magbo-book, visit thepoortraveler.net/Klook for discount. Or i-enter nyo lang ang The Poor Traveler Klook na promo code. Ang Hong Kong International Airport ay consistently ranked na isa sa pinakamagagandang airports sa buong mundo. And it gives visitors a first glimpse of how efficient Hong Kong can be. Yung mga local carriers natin dito sa Pilipinas like Cebu Pacific, Philippines AirAsia, and Philippine Airlines, they all fly directly from Manila to Hong Kong, so you have plenty of options. But you should also check out Cathay Pacific and HK Express kasi minsan competitive din yung mga rates nila. If you're on a budget, pwede ka maghintay ng seat sale, lalo na pag piso sale. Madalas naman kasama yung Hong Kong sa mga sale. Pwede kang makascore ng round-trip tickets for less than 6,000 pesos, including all the taxes, fees, and carry-on bag, pero hindi pa kasama yung check-in baggage allowance. Pero kung walang sale, kung year-round fare ang labanan, i-check nyo yung HK Express kasi usually sila yung may pinakamababang year-round fare, mainly because yung mga flights nila ay red-eye flights. Scheduled ng gabing-gabi na or madaling araw talaga. If for some reason you can find reasonably priced flights to Hong Kong, tapos yung target date nyo ay hindi mababago, wala na kayong choice, ganyan, you can also check out flights to Macau and just transfer by bus or ferry from there. Actually, kung ang itinerary nyo, pareho nyong pupuntahan yung Hong Kong and Macau, you can book a flight to Hong Kong, tapos yung pabalik nyo pwedeng from Macau na, or vice versa. Yung papunta nyo is Macau, pabalik nyo is from Hong Kong. This way, you get to see and discover both cities. Okay lang yan, nagawa na namin yan a couple of times nang walang issue. But anyway, yung video na to kasi is all about Hong Kong, so let's forget about Macau for now. Gagawa tayo ng separate na Macau travel guide and combined Hong Kong-Macau itinerary soon. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe to this channel by tapping the subscribe button. Tapos i-ring mo na rin yung bell sa tabi nito, then select all para lagi kang updated kapag may new videos tayo. Kasi we're on the road to 300,000 subscribers. Kung sa Facebook ka naman nanonood, join our 1 million strong community by liking and following this page too. We'd also like to shout out itong mga comments of the week natin. So, yung unang comment natin ay galing kay Gala Tayo with Unica. Sabi niya, now ko lang nakita na may YouTube din pala kayo. Kayo po yung lagi kong pina-follow na itinerary sa vlogs nyo pa since I started traveling 20 years ago. Yung vlogs nyo, yung una kong chinek. Ayan, kinoment niyan sa video natin about the free things to do in Hong Kong. Sabi naman ni Pretty Shy Girl 8261, ako na 8 years na dito sa Hong Kong pero bakit parang dito ko lang na-explore ang Hong Kong sa mga videos nyo. Hehehe. Tapos kinoment naman niya yan sa Disneyland Sulit Tips video natin. Tapos sa Hong Kong Restaurants video natin, sabi niya, napakagandang content talaga. So, salamat sa'yo. And grabe, 8 years ka na sa Hong Kong. So, kapag meron kang mga tips din na gustong idagdag na hindi namin nasama sa video na to, comment mo lang din para makatulong tayo sa ibang nanonood. Pero salamat sa support and sa pag-comment. And may isa pa tayong comment for this week. Sabi ni 11 STEM Rafaela Rain J. Del Ro, V6R. Going back there this February with family. Thank you for your Hong Kong videos. They're very helpful. So exciting. Kinoment niya yan sa sample Hong Kong Disneyland itinerary video natin. So maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Kung gusto niyo ring ma-shoutout, comment lang din kayo tapos sabihin niyo lang kung saan niyo pinapanood yung video na to. Kung nasa Pilipinas man kayo or anywhere in the world kasi alam ko marami rin tayong viewers na OFWs. Sabihin niyo sa amin kung saan kayo based. Ayun, let's go back to the video. After landing in Hong Kong, follow the signs to the immigration area. Malaki yung airport dito ha. And depending sa airline and sa gate na na-assign sa flight nyo, baka kailanganin yung sumakay ng monorail para marating yung immigration area. Pero pag nakapunta na kayo doon, find the line for foreign visitors and wait for your turn. Once through, hindi nila isa-stamp yung passport mo. you'll be given a small piece of paper, tas nakalagay doon yung travel document number mo, and kung hanggang kailan ka lang pwede magstay sa Hong Kong. Tapos, punta ka na dun sa assigned carousel, dun sa baggage area, and exit ka na ng customs. On your way out, madadaanan mo yung booth ng Hong Kong Tourism Board. Tingin-tingin ka dyan, may mga maps dyan, may brochures, and minsan meron silang mga pa-promo, raffle, and iba-ibang paandar. Tapos, paglabas mo sa arrival hall, kung meron kang SIM or Octopus card na in-order online na kailangan mo i-pick up, gawin mo na ngayon habang nandito ka sa airport. In our case, dito namin pinick up yung Octopus card na in-order namin sa Klook dito sa specific counter na to. Kung meron ka ng Octopus card, pwedeng from your previous trip or may nagpahiram sa'yo and gusto mo na lang lagyan ng load, pwede kang magpa-load sa 7-Eleven. May 7-Eleven store kasi dito sa arrival hall. Kung kailangan mo mag-withdraw ng cash, meron ding mga ATMs available. Pero perhaps yung pinaka mapapansin mo ay itong Airport Express Station, which is directly accessible from the arrival hall. So, on that note, let's take a look at the map again. So, ito yung Hong Kong Airport, di ba? It's built on reclaimed land sa Lantau Island, west of Hong Kong's city center. Sa mapa, it's here. Pero as I pointed out earlier, it's quite far from the city center. So siguro yung sunod na tanong mo is, paano ba pumunta from the airport to my hotel? Okay, una sa lahat, if you're staying at a big hotel, i-check nyo muna kung meron silang free airport transfer na available. Kasi may mga hotels na may ganong service especially yung mga hotels sa Tung Chung and Sky City areas. Para ma-take advantage nyo kasi sayang. I know for a fact na yung Marriott Sky City and 4 Points by Sheraton Tung Chung, meron silang complimentary shuttle service kasi na-try na namin to before. Pero i-check nyo rin yung schedule kasi if your flight is arriving past midnight, baka hindi nyo na maubutan yung operating hours. The good news is you have plenty of public transportation options naman, but the two main ones ay ang Airport Express na train and yung bus. Marami na tayong videos na dinidiscuss kung paano pumunta from the airport to Tsim Sha Tsui, Mong Kok, and Central. So kung gusto nyo ng mas detalyado talaga, panoorin nyo na lang yung videos na to, makikita nyo sa screen. But ito yung brief recap natin. Ang i-discuss ko na lang yung easiest and most convenient option ha. So unahin natin yung Airport Express. Technically, itong Airport Express yung pinakamabilis na option talaga. Pero make sure na yung hotel nyo ay malapit sa Airport Express Station. Technically, itong Airport Express yung pinakamabilis talaga kasi meron lang itong tatlong stops. Tsing Yi Station, Kowloon Station, and Hong Kong Station. If yung hotel nyo or pupuntahan nyo is close to any of these stations, then good, just take the Airport Express. It's fast, it's easy, it's convenient. The Airport Express is connected din sa MTR. So kung yung hotel nyo or kung ano man yung pupuntahan nyo ay malapit sa MTR station, you can take the Airport Express tapos mag-transfer kayo sa Tsing Yi Station or sa Hong Kong Station. Pero note na, yung Hong Kong Station to Central Station na connection, medyo mahabang lakad siya. Tapos, lalabas ka ng Airport Express Station tapos papasok ka ulit. Kasi medyo complicated lang siya a little bit. Pero it's underground for the most part, so you don't need to worry about the rain or yung araw or tawid-tawid ng ilang beses. Hindi naman siya ganun ka-inconvenient. But again, medyo mahaba lang talaga siyang lakad. If you don't want to transfer, lalo na kung meron kayong hila-hilang mabigat na luggage, and I'm assuming na oo, kasi galing ka nga ng airport, i-check nyo rin if yung hotel nyo ay malapit sa bus stop. Kasi kung oo, then i-bus nyo na lang. If yung hotel nyo ay nasa Tsim Sha Tsui, Mong Kok, or Yau Ma Tei, tapos malapit sa Nathan Road or Chatham Road, the most convenient way is probably the bus. In particular, itong bus A21. Ito rin yung pinakamadali and pinakamurang option. Bakit? Kasi unlike other options, ito kasi direct and hindi mo kailangan mag-transfer or mag-switch. Kasi pag nag-take ka ng Airport Express, di ba? Magsiswitch ka to MTR either sa Tsing Yi or sa Hong Kong Station. Pero sa bus, diretso lang siya. Mas matagal lang pero at least hindi ka lilipat. To take the bus, just follow the signs sa arrival hall papunta sa Airport Ground Transportation Center, which is right in front of the airport building. Nasa labas ito and ganito yung itsura niya. Tapos, check the signs and look for the A21 bus stop. Usually, merong pila kasi very popular yung bus na to. And wait for the A21 bus. Yung bus na to, double-decker. Tapos yung ruta naman at saka bus number, naka-display naman yan sa harap. So pwede mong ma-check kung tama yung bus na sasakyan mo. And when it's time to board, i-ready mo lang yung Octopus card mo, tapos i-tap or hover mo lang sa card reader na usually installed by the entrance door of the bus. If you decide na hindi kumuha ng Octopus card, pwede ka naman magbayad by cash. Just make sure you have the exact amount kasi hindi sila nagsusukli dito. Ang fare ay 34.6 Hong Kong dollars. Upon boarding, you'll immediately see na merong baggage section. So, pwede mong iwan yung suitcase mo dyan. Merong seats na mangilan-ngilan dito sa first floor ng bus. Pero kung walang available, akyat na lang kayo dun sa top deck. Marami dun. Pero don't worry, may camera naman na nakatutok sa baggage area. And pwede mo pa rin mabantayan yung bag mo. Ang travel time is 60 to 90 minutes depending on kung saan ka bababa and kung gaano ka-traffic that time. Kung papunta ka ng Tsim Sha Tsui, Yau Ma Tei, or Mongkok, i-check nyo kung alin sa mga stops na to yung closest to your hotel, tapos dun ka bumaba. So, ito yung listahan. Tapos yun na, pwede ka nang maglakad, papunta sa hotel mo, again, kung malapit sa Nathan Road or Chatham Road yung hotel. Kung magsistay ka sa may Chungking Mansions or Mirador Mansion, yung pinakamalapit na stop ay yung Middle Road, Nathan Road. Pero wait, before I forget, yung A21 bus ay available lang from 5:30 a.m. hanggang midnight. So kung yung flight mo ay darating past midnight na, take the N21 bus instead, which runs from 12:20 a.m. hanggang 4:40 a.m. Marami rin yung stop sa Tsim Sha Tsui. Ang fare ay 23.8 Hong Kong dollars. Alamin nyo lang kung ano yung pinakamalapit na stop sa hotel nyo. Yung bus din yung cheapest way papunta sa Central. Check nyo yung closest bus stop to your hotel, pero it's very likely na yung bus for you is bus A11 naman. So, same nung kanina, dun sa Airport Ground Transportation Center, look for the A11 bus stop. Tapos same din, double-decker din yan, and pwede ka rin magbayad through Octopus card, and again, kung wala ka ng card, pwedeng cash, pero hindi sila nagsusukli. Ang pamasahe, 41.9 Hong Kong dollars, regardless kung saang area ng Central ka bababa. Pareho pa rin yung pamasahe. Ang travel time is 50 to 70 minutes depending on where you are alighting and kung gaano ka-traffic nung time na yon. On one of our trips, dito kami nag-book nga sa iClub Shangwan, di ba? And dito kami bumaba sa stop na to. Tapos, may elevator kaming sinakyan, tapos may overpass, tapos konting lakad lang, nandun na kami sa hotel. Yung A11 bus, available naman to from 5:35 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. Pero again, kung yung flight mo ay madaling araw, take the N11 bus naman na 1:50 a.m. to 4:50 a.m. naman nag-ooperate, $23.8 naman yung pamasahe. Dito sa Hong Kong, ang MTR system yung best friend mo. It's extensive, tourist-friendly, and relatively inexpensive. Kaya lang, kung first-timer ka, pwedeng nakakalito rin kasi siya minsan. So, download ka ng Google Maps. It's very reliable dito sa Hong Kong kasi it will tell you yung mga recommended routes, kasama yung pinakamabilis na ruta, pinakamadaling ruta, and even magkano yung kailangan mong bayaran. Bukod sa MTR, meron din tong mga suggestions for bus and minibus options. Again, yung Octopus card, gumagana naman yan on all of these transportation modes. Ang maganda sa Octopus card, hindi ka nakukuha ng ticket every time. Kasi 'di ba merong mga gates and buses na tumatanggap ng credit card transactions, ganyan. Pero mas madali, mas kampante ako ng Octopus card na lang. Pero anyway, kung for whatever reason gusto mong bumili ng single journey tickets, ganito lang naman siya. So ganito yung itsura nung MTR ticket machine, ganyan. So, hanapin nyo lang yan sa station. Tapos, bawat isa niyan may screen and may route map. Tapos, i-touch nyo lang yung pupuntahan nyo na destination sa route map. Tapos, select yung ticket type. By default, nakaset naman yan to adult. Tapos, insert coin or bills to pay. Tapos, kunin mo na yung ticket mo, tsaka yung sukle, wag mong kalimutan. Yun. Ganun lang naman kadali. Pero mas madali pa rin pag may Octopus card. Bukod sa MTR, marami pang ibang modes of transportation ang pwede nyong gamitin dito sa Hong Kong and isa na dyan ang tram. Itong mga iconic double-decker trams na to ay isa sa mga pinakamura and most fascinating ways to get around the central areas. It runs from Kennedy Town to Shao K1 and meron lang itong 6 na main routes. Yung mga trams na to are perfect for slow sightseeing, especially kung andun ka sa upper deck. Yung pamasahe ay flat na $3.3 per ride and basically para siyang moving observation deck through neighborhoods like Central, Wan Chai, and Causeway Bay. That said, may kabagalan ang mga trams na ito kasi maraming stops along the way and syempre kasama niya sa daan yung mga bus and mga kotse. So, it's best use kapag hindi ka nagmamadali. Pag-usapan naman natin yung bus. Yung bus system dito sa Hong Kong ay efficient naman and surprisingly easy to use kahit na first-timer ka. Yung kagandahan ng mga buses, napupuntahan nyo yung mga lugar na hindi naaabot ng train. Kasama na dyan yung ibang mga residential neighborhoods, even mga beaches and mga hiking spots. Minsan, kung walang MTR station, may bus papunta doon. Yung downside, syempre traffic. Lalo na kapag rush hour, pwede talagang magtagal sa biyahe. Pero still, if you're heading somewhere specific or scenic and hindi ka naman nagmamadali, solid naman yung mga buses and hindi rin sila kamahalan by Hong Kong standards. Most buses ay tumatanggap naman ng Octopus cards and yung mga stops ay announced in English. Pero tutukan mo na lang din sa Google Maps kapag nakasakay ka na sa bus kasi minsan nahuhuli yung announcement. Bukod sa bus, meron ding mga mini buses. Ito naman, mas maliliit, mas mabibilis at mas local. Perfect ito para sa mga ruta na hindi naabot ng mga mas malalaking bus. Lalo na yung mga nasa hilly na neighborhoods. May dalawang klase ito and malalaman mo yan sa kung anong kulay nung bubong ng minibus. May green minibus na fixed yung ruta and merong mga set na stops and merong red minibus na mas flexible and mas nakakalito para sa mga turista. Yung green minibus, tumatanggap yan ng Octopus cards. Pero tandaan na dahil mas maliliit ito, mas konti lang yung upuan, so mas mabilis itong mapuno. Pwede ka ring makapag-sightseeing sa Hong Kong habang nasa tubig. May mga ferries and isa ito sa pinaka-enjoyable ways to get around the city. Pinakasikat dito yung Star Ferry connecting Hong Kong Island and Kowloon. Mabilis lang yung ride kasi malapit lang yung ruta niya, mura lang din ito, and actually very legendary ito, offering unbeatable skyline views for the price of a loose change. Marami sa mga locals ginagamit ito as part of their commute talaga, pero yung ibang mga turista, ginagamit na rin ito for sightseeing. Pero if masyadong mabilis or restricting yung Star Ferry for you, baka ang dapat mong itry ay yung Hong Kong Water Taxi. Ito naman, mas modern and mas scenic, mas matagal din, and mas maiikot ka sa Victoria Harbor. It operates along the harbor front, connecting key areas such as Central, Wan Chai, Tsim Sha Tsui East. Ito yung area ng Avenue of Stars, and West Kowloon na nandito naman yung M Plus Museum, making it useful for both sightseeing and short point-to-point trips. Para itong transport and sightseeing experience rolled into one. May dalawang klase ng water taxi dito, yung regular and yung premium. Yung minimum fare for regular ay 30 Hong Kong dollars, tapos 50 naman para sa premium ferry. Pero kung gusto mong ma-experience yung buong ride, yung feeling mo nagko-cruise ka talaga, it can cost you as much as $100 for regular and $150 naman kung premium. Pero mas mura pa rin ito kaysa sa mga leisure harbor cruises na masikat. Yun yung mga Wing On Travel, Aqualuna. Yung Aqualuna yung maganda yung parang sale. Mahal kasi yung mga yon. Ito, mas mabilis pero mas mura. And wala ditong mga perks like mga unlimited drinks, ganun. Kasi yung mga mahal na cruises merong ganung paandar. Kung gusto mo namang mapuntahan yung ibang mga outlying islands like Peng Chau and Cheung Chau na marami rin namang mapupuntahan dyan, pwede kang sumakay ng public passenger ferry sa Central Pier number 5. Ano ba yung best time to visit Hong Kong? Most online publications will tell you na yung pinaka-ideal ay October to December. Kasi komportable yung temperature and maaraw most of the time. That said, it doesn't mean na ganun every day. Kasi natatandaan ko, yung first Hong Kong visit ko, October yon, and maulan. Actually, hindi maulan, maambon. Alam niyo, hindi naman siya buhos pero alam niyo yung ambon na hindi tumitigil. Ganun yung first visit namin sa Hong Kong noon. Tapos years later, October din yung last visit namin, meron namang bagyo. And yung city was under signal number 8. So, you'll never know these days.
From level 3 na storm, naging level 8 na siya. Kaya ang ending namin, hindi na tuloy ang Macau namin. Huhu. Ang plano namin today is mag-commute lang talaga kami using public transportation papunta ng Macau and i-document yung buong process. But, ayun na nga. Hindi na namin tinuloy kasi takot din naman kami matrap sa Macau if ever lumakas pa yung bagyo. Ito yung bagsak namin. And ngayon, naghahanap kami ng lunch place. Mag-go 1 hour na. Lahat sarado kahit na sabihin nilang open sila na Sunday. Siguro dahil na din sa bagyo. Nakatatlong restaurants na kami. Hindi, 4. Nakapan aming restaurants pero sarado pa rin. Sarado lahat sila.
Kung ayaw nyo ng ulan, January to March, yan yung driest months. Yun nga lang, malamig talaga. But to be honest with you, as someone na lumaki sa tropics, gusto ko kasi yung winter sa Hong Kong. Gusto ko kasi yung malamig. Hindi naman siya malamig na malamig eh. Tama lang siya for me. And yung most enjoyable visits ko ng Hong Kong, usually January and February. Yun nga lang, kung ayaw mo ng matao, iwasan mo lang yung days surrounding Chinese New Year, usually in late January or early February. Iwasan mo rin yung May to September if you can, kasi bukod sa yan yung pinakamaulan na months, minsan may bagyo din dyan. And yan din yung pinakamainit. Nakabisita na kami ng Hong Kong ng May, June, and July, and sobrang init, guys. Mainit and maulan at the same time. So, hindi siya good time to visit talaga.
Ayan. We finally arrive dito sa Tuktok. Maganda yung view. And buti na lang mahangin. Kasi sobrang init. Kita nyo naman, basang-basa na ako ng pawis. So, make sure na may dala kayong extra na t-shirt. Lots of water.
Ang Hong Kong ay isa sa mga destinations na mapapakain ka talaga, hindi may iwasan. Kasi ang daming pwedeng itry dito. Mula sa mga noodle shops to dumpling joints, tapos meron ding mga Michelin approved na mga chains. Ang sarap kumain dito sa Hong Kong. So unahin natin yung central area. Itong district kasi na to, marami talagang mga reputable eateries. Lalo na kung ang hanap mo ay yung mga classic na local flavors. Tulad ng Chim Chai Kee na famous for its rich, no-nonsense noodle bowls served fast and without ceremony. Hindi ka mahihirapang hanapin to kasi sobrang haba ng pila dito kapag lunchtime and dinner time. Dito sa Wellington branch ang haba ng pila. So, makikita mo kagad. Paborito din kasi talaga to ng mga locals kasi mura din naman talaga siya. Sa hindi kalayuan, makikita mo naman ang Luk On Koy, serving old-school Cantonese gastronomic tradition. And pag sinabi kong old school, lumang style pa na merong mga tinutulak na tray ng dim sum, yung mga ganong style. Pero yes, dim sum yung pinakasikat dito, pero available lang siya around lunchtime and hindi namin naabutan. So ang na-try namin is yung mga roasted na staples nila, like roasted duck, soy chicken, ganyan. And hindi naman kami nabigo. Masarap talaga. Actually, isa sa pinakamasarap na roasted dishes na na-try namin sa Hong Kong. For something naman a bit more visitor-friendly pero legit pa rin, pwede mong itry itong Dim Sum Square Kitchen, offering approachable and well-executed dim sum. And hindi ka rin bibiguin nito. Yung shumai nila, malaman, and yung mga pork barbecue buns nila, mahirap kalimutan. Kung ang hotel mo naman ay malapit sa Jordan or mapapadpad ka dito, kunyari nag-shopping ka sa Temple Street Night Market, pwede kang mag-try ng mga local comfort food favorites dito sa area. Isa sa mga dinadayo dito ay itong Yuanji dumpling, which is all about flavorful Well, dumplings, and they're done right. Perfect for a quick, satisfying meal. Yung mga dumplings nila, mostly steamed, and you can have them with chili oil, peanut butter, or soup. In-order namin yung merong chili oil and peanut butter, tapos umorder din kami nung may soup, yung hot soup, and mas nagustuhan ko yung walang soup. Malapit lang din ito sa Mac Monkey na isa rin sa mga local favorites, serving wonton noodle soup with delicate dumplings then springy noodles, and deeply flavorful broth. Pero bukod sa soup version, meron din silang ibang noodle options. And it's one of those places na paborito din ng mga locals, and for good reason. And although marami mga independent eateries sa Hong Kong na worth a try, yung mga chains nila rin ay popular for a reason. Isa na dyan ang Tim Ho Wan. Siyempre, alam na natin to kasi meron nito sa Pilipinas. Pero dito sila nagsimula sa Hong Kong. Yung flagship store nila ay nalipat na from Mongkok to Olympic City. Pero meron din silang iba-ibang branches like dito sa MTR Hong Kong Station. Sikat naman ito for their baked barbecue pork buns and consistently good dim sum. It's an easy, reliable choice whether nagmamadali ka and ayaw mo na mag-decide kung saan ka kakain, ayaw mo na mag-check. Tim Ho Wan is always a safe bet. Meron kaming separate video na ginawa kung saan mas dinescribe namin yung mga experiences namin dito in depth, kung ano yung in-order namin, ano yung mga nagustuhan namin, ano yung mga hindi masyadong nag-fly for us. So, be sure to check that out for the full foodie breakdown. Pero, kailangan ba mag-tip dito sa Hong Kong? Tipping is not required kasi most restaurants automatically include a 10% service charge dun sa bill. If there's no service charge, pwede ka naman mag-iwan ng 5 to 10%. It's appreciated but still optional. For casual street food, small cafes, or takeaway, no tipping is expected naman. Okay, punta naman tayo sa mga attractions sa Hong Kong. Gagawa kami ng separate video about this in itinerary format, tapos may budget breakdown din. So, hindi na natin hihimayin to dito. Pero ito yung quick rundown lang. Parang overview lang. So, unahin na natin. Hong Kong Disneyland. This is the smallest Disney resort in the world, pero punong-puno ng attractions. You can cover most major rides in a day. So, perfect for a one-day visit lang talaga. Ang dami na naming videos and articles na maraming tips about Hong Kong Disneyland. So, panoorin nyo na lang. Meron din tayong mga listahan ng best rides. Nirank natin yan. Meron din tayong sample Disneyland walking route. Hanapin nyo na lang sa channel na to. Pinupuntahan din dito yung Ngong Ping 360. Ito yung cable car na ang haba nung ride above mountains. Malayo sa mga skyscrapers ng Hong Kong. And yung destination dito ay yung Ngong Ping Village na very touristy pero manageable naman. And andito rin yung Big Buddha. Merong mataas na hagdan na pwede mong akyatin kung gusto mo ng closer look. And meron ding monastery sa baba. Just a bus ride away from Ngong Ping Village, makikita mo naman ang Tai O Village na merong mga stilt houses, narrow alleys, and merong mga small seafood shops, fostering a more traditional Hong Kong atmosphere. Pwede kang mag-boat tour dito or pwede ka ring mag-DIY food trip. Marami kang pwedeng isample na pagkain here. Itong Victoria Peak naman, sikat for a reason kasi nag-a-agree naman ako na ito yung best view of the city skyline. At least in my opinion. If you're on a budget, you can take the minibus or you can even trek to the peak kung maayos naman yung weather. But most tourists prefer na i-take yung peak tram, which will give you a surreal askew experience. And pagdating mo sa Tok-Tok, nandun yung Sky Terrace 428, which offers a fantastic vantage point. Pero if ayaw mong magbayad for a view, pwede kang umakyat dito sa Tok-Tok ng Peak Galleria Mall. Nandito rin yung Monopoly Dreams. The Avenue of Stars is essentially a long waterfront walk by the Victoria Harbor. It's best enjoyed slowly, chill-chill, ganyan, especially in the late afternoon kapag hindi ganun kainit. Marami ring mga attractions dito. Nandyan yung Space Museum, Cultural Center, Star Ferry, may mga cafes din, may mga malls din na malapit. Pero kung ayaw nyong maglakad-lakad lang, pwede mong i-experience yung harbor by going on a cruise. Pwede kang sumakay sa regular boat and pwede ka ring dito sa Aqua Luna Traditional Junk Boat. Either way, you get to take in stellar views of both Kowloon and Central areas on either side of the harbor. Kung mahilig ka naman sa art, punta ka dito sa M Plus Museum, which focuses heavily on modern visual culture, design, and architecture rather than traditional fine art. Some exhibits are thought-provoking and yung iba medyo confusing, pero the museum never feels static. Kulang yung 2 oras dito kasi marami kang makikita, maraming mga rooms. Kung mahilig ka namang mag-shopping, punta ka sa Mongkok. It's crowded, it's loud, pero functional pa rin even for locals. And yung mga prices dito, hindi naman sila kamurahan, pero marami kang makikita. May mga souvenirs. Tapos, nandito rin yung sneaker alley. So, kung mahilig ka sa sapatos or gusto mo lang tumingin-tingin or gusto mo talagang bumili, maganda dito mag-shop. For the best experience, visit in the evening and keep your expectations realistic. Central is Hong Kong at its most polished and efficient. Andito yung marami sa mga offices, restaurants, galleries, and may nightlife din dito. Pag naglakad-lakad ka dito, although medyo hilly ito so taas-baba ganyan, pero it gives you a sense of how the city actually operates day to day. Marami ring mga historic, artful, and delicious corners around the area. Aberdeen naman offers a glimpse of Hong Kong's older fishing culture, though much of it now exists alongside modern development. May floating restaurant, may museum, and may harbor reviews na very interesting and worth a short stop if you're already in the southern part of Hong Kong. Especially if you want to understand how the city has evolved. Ang Hong Kong, marami ang outlying islands, pero yung 2 sa pinaka-pinupuntahan ay yung Cheung Chau and Peng Chau. These islands show a quieter, more residential side of Hong Kong na namimiss ng maraming visitors. Ang Cheung Chau feels busy on weekends but still offers good food and scenic walking paths, while Peng Chau naman is slower and more local. Ang parehong islands na to are easy ferry rides away and pwede mong mabisita in a day or half day pa nga kung 1 lang. We also have videos about the many free attractions and yung mga underrated na attractions in Hong Kong. Panoorin nyo na lang yon after ng video na to. Pero i-mention na rin natin yung Macau kasi you can visit Macau on a day trip from Hong Kong. You can do it by ferry or by bus, pero we'll be creating a separate video sharing our experience taking a day trip to Macau in detail. So if ayaw nyo ma-miss yun and hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, subscribe na kayo now. Just click on the subscribe button and the bell icon beside it. Tapos turn on notifications para notified kayo kapag up na yung mga yon. And don't forget to use our Agoda TPT promo code for hotels and AATPT for Agoda activities for huge discounts. And remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it!